Welcome back. Episode 3. I will teach you everything that you need to know about keywords in this video. And let's face it, the match types are pretty loose these days, so it's more important than ever that we understand how the match types work and when is the appropriate time to use each one. Of course, we'll touch on broad match, phrase match, exact match, and negatives. Ultimately, this information is going to save you money, and you're likely to see an increase in the number of conversions that you're already getting in your Google Ads account. So if you find this video valuable, please like and subscribe. And while you're there, don't forget to hit that bell notification as well. And with that said and done, let's jump into the video. Welcome back to chapter 3. This chapter is all about keywords. We will begin this chapter understanding the different keyword types available within the Google Ads platform. We will cover off broad match, phrase match, exact match, and also the negative keyword terms and how to implement these within our campaigns. So let's dive into the first step, which is the keyword definitions. I'm sure many of you know this already, but keywords are words or phrases that are used to match your ads with the terms that people are searching for. And there are 3 main match types. As a quick overview, there's broad match. So this is defined as a loose matching type by Google. And the definition they give is ads may show on searches that relate to your keyword. Don't worry, we'll go into each one of these in a bit more detail with some examples as well in just a moment. Next, you have what they call or what they class as a moderate matching, and that is phrase match. So ads may show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword. Again, stressing the word meaning in that sentence. This is one of the new changes that's come in. And lastly, we have exact match. This is classed as tight matching, and the definition for exact match here is ads may show on searches that are the same meaning as your keyword. Again, meaning is emphasized here, as this is one of the new changes that we've seen in 2022 with the match type examples. I'll start off with broad match, and as the name suggests, broad match will have the widest reach and will automatically match terms against related queries. Ads may show on searches that are related to your keyword, which can include searches that don't contain the keyword terms. This helps you attract more visitors to your website, spend less time building keyword lists, and focus your spending on keywords that work. Broad match is the default match type that all your keywords are assigned to. And the thing to remember here is the syntax for broad match is to simply input the keyword. As you can see on the broad match keyword here, low carb diet plan on its own, nothing else around it, it will automatically assign that as a broad match term unless you specify as a phrase match or an exact match, which I'll show you how to do with next. But on the right, you will see some examples here of what your broad match keyword will trigger. So in this case, low carb diet plan is triggering carb-free foods, low carb diets, low calorie recipes, Mediterranean diet books, and low carbohydrate dietary programs. So you can see the wide ranging group of words and keywords that are actually triggered by this. That's because it's giving it the widest match type and also applying meaning as well. So implied meanings for each of the words that Google believes has that meaning associated with it. You can see even the first one, carb-free foods and low carb diet plan, are not necessarily a close match, but they have roughly the same meaning. What you'll need to bear in mind here with broad match keywords is that you will show for a lot of keywords that might not be relevant to your campaign. Quick piece of advice here, it's really important if you're running broad match campaigns to do regular negative keyword checks using search term reports, and within that you can check if there's anything that's really not relevant to your brand or to your specific campaign, and you can exclude those within the platform itself. The last thing I'll state on the broad match terms is it says here, this helps you attract more visitors to your website, spend less time building keyword lists, and focus your spending on keywords that work. Broad match is good at doing exactly that. If you have quite niche keyword terms or you're looking to expand or scale up spend within your ad account, one of the great things to actually do is to run a broad match campaign, casting the net as wide as possible, catching as many of those search terms as possible that you may not be able to have thought of or the keyword planner hasn't actually put forward. And then you can leave those within your campaign and obviously remove the ones that are not successful. But that is a strategy for anyone looking to scale up your account or to scale up a particular campaign or spend. It's not something I would necessarily suggest that you begin with immediately. You might want to have a little bit more control, especially if you have lower budgets or you need to ensure you're getting conversions before you can kind of scale up your spend. So just something to bear in mind there. Moving on, we will touch on phrase match. So Google matches your ad only against keywords that include a phrase you have specified. Ads may show on searches that include the meaning of your keyword. The meaning of the keyword can be implied. User searches can be a more specific form of the meaning. With phrase match, you can reach more searches than with exact match and fewer searches than with broad match. As you would expect, phrase match sits in between your broad match and your exact match. The key emphasis is the keyword can be implied. This again comes down to what Google deems as relevant to your particular keyword. So if we move over to the example on the right hand side here, the example given is tennis shoes. So your ads may show on searches for shoes for tennis, buy tennis shoes on sale, red tennis shoes, and comfortable tennis shoes. Ads will not show for searches on tennis racket and training shoes. Can you wear running shoes for tennis? Where the ads are shown, you can see that implied meaning, particularly in this last one here, comfortable tennis sneakers. It's actually implied the meaning of shoes and sneakers. The comfortable has been added because of you're in phrase match and you still contain tennis as well. That gives you a rough understanding of how phrase match works. And again, the emphasis here is it sits nicely between exact match and broad match. What I will say here is that previously phrase match only included keywords in any order. Now it is based on any order and any meaning. So if Google deems it has the same meaning, it will show. So again, it's always important to keep up to date and regularly run those search term reports just to ensure that you're not running against anything that's not relevant to your campaign or your keywords. Next up, we have the third and final match type, the exact match. An exact match allows you to show your ad when a searcher types the exact word or phrase you are bidding on. Ads may show on searches that have the same meaning or same intent as the key word. Again here, meaning or same intent is also in here. Previously, it would have been the exact keywords only. Now it is based on the exact meaning or intent as deemed by Google. It's important to run those search term reports just to ensure, just to double check that Google's meaning or intent is the same as your meaning or intent as well. So of the three keyword matching options, exact match gives you the most control over who views your ad, but reaches fewer searches than both phrase and broad match. Obviously, you're going to see slightly lower volumes with exact match, but you do have the greatest control over who your targeting is reaching. In terms of examples, we have the syntax here for the square brackets. So the square brackets will define it as an exact match. So you must remember to put those in if you want to run exact match keyword types. In terms of where your ads will show, a couple of examples here. If the search term is, or the keyword term is shoes for men, it will show against shoes men, men shoes, men shoe, shoes for a man. And it won't show against men's tennis shoes and shoes for boys. So you can see it's a closer match than phrase match, but it's not like it used to be. There is still a bit of implied intent and implied meaning, but it is the most defined match type that there is. So just bear that in mind. A lot of the time, depending on the keywords you're using, will dictate the sort of match types you use. But we'll touch more on that when we look to setting up specific search campaigns and how to structure your search campaigns and ad groups as well. So the last keyword type that you need to be aware of is actually the negative keyword. I have touched on this briefly with all of the different keyword match types, but negatives are, as it says, they are the negative version. So negative keywords are a method of preventing your ad from showing to people who search for or browse content related to those words. If you are running, for example, ads for a personal training company who are looking to run personal training certifications, you may not want to be showing against generic or in-person personal training events. So you may want to exclude or add the negative keyword personal training certification near me or something like that. Within the negative keywords, Again, you have it broken down to 3 types. You have your broad, your phrase, and exact, and they run in a similar way, with the broad being the loosest, phrase being the one in between, and exact actually being the tightest and excluding the most amount of keywords. So just bear that in mind when you are including negative keywords into your list. We will go into how to add negatives into your campaigns and ad groups as we go and create our search campaign, and I'll show you some optimization tips. And one of the best optimizations that you can run in a search campaign is, in fact, implementing your negative keywords list and running those regular search term reports. I can't stress it enough. The search term reports are more important now than they've ever been. So we must make sure we are running them on a regular basis, whether it's once a week or once every 2 weeks, depending on your match types. That wraps up the different match types that we have available to us within the platform. What we're going to do next is we're going to look into a live demonstration of keyword research and planning. So I'll see you in the next bit in a moment.